take a look here. This right here goes on the faucet itself. Has two different things attached. So we're going to attach a hose to this side. You can turn it off and on. Same on this side, off and on. Attach the timer straight to that. So this is a timer from Orbit. This is the single timer. You can get a double one, or I think a triple one, but it's hard to find them right now at the stores as far as Home Depot, Lowe's type stores. And then this right here is a backflow regulator so that nothing's going to come back up in. This is a pressure regulator, this little piece right here. You can buy these separate at Lowe's, they're labeled. So backflow. Then this right here is the pressure regulator so that it cuts the pressure down a little bit, because you remember you're going through plastic tubing with holes in it that you're poking and putting little plastic pieces in, so you don't want the pressure full. And then this right here is the hose adapter to the drip irrigation system hose. So that's smaller rubber hose goes in this end right here. You stick it straight in, and I'll show you that. So this is for a water hose or straight onto the faucet attachment, and then that converts it. So those are the pieces. Said you can buy all this at Lowe's. You can buy this at Lowe's or Home Depot, all in the same section. Piece, this piece, this piece, and then you can get the timers there as well.
Stinging air conditioner's on right next to me, and also the battery in this thing, which has been on for years, went off right as I plugged it in. Thankfully it wasn't broke, it just needed a new battery. Got the hose, just gonna stick it in, turn it on, and make sure there's no leaks or holes or anything, because I've got probably about 30 or 40 feet of it. Make sure it's on there really good so it don't pop off and spray me. Manual. All right, let's see. Yep, looks like it's going out good. Don't see any other leaks. Awesome. And now we just spread that out all the way around.
All right, got to do some adjusting, kind of cover that up. Maybe put it more up against the house and kind of have it curve softly right here and go around. But over here we got a big tangle, big mess. Easy to do, especially when these things are curled so tight. It's easier probably, instead of untangling it, just to cut it, patch it back up with one of the plastic pieces. So very easy to do that, and they really pretty much don't leak. So we'll do that maybe. All right, so you can see here what we did was we took the old hose, which was actually straight through there in the pine straw, and then I just brought it out. It's gonna go across the steps here, meet up with the new hose. We'll patch it in right there. And you see how much more pliable this one is. It's been sitting out for a long time, a year or so. But it takes just a few days and it'll settle down. The new stuff over here that's been curled up. And when you just buy one of these, you just might wanna spread it out in the hot sun for a few days. All right, you can see right here, this is the end of the original hose going through the flower bed. Just gonna squeeze it in, and we're gonna replace on the end with this little coupler. I think it's a barbed coupler, it calls it. I'll put a picture up. What I want to do is I'm going to get some pruning shears and cut right below where it's been crinked over and over, right here, and then stick this in there. Got our pruning shears, cut right below the crink. That should be good. The other end will fit right on there. All right, got the other ends together. Push that into here. If I need to come back and tighten that up, I can push it just a little farther. It will take all of my strength. All right. Now we go to the other end where it's connected to the original side, cut it, and put this on, and we've just reversed the direction of the water flowing. So, how do you reverse the water direction? Well, the water's coming from here over the faucet on that side. Now it's going to be coming from the other way on a faucet on that side and be completely disconnected from this right here. So instead of trying to replace all this or hook it up differently, we're just going to cut it right here, and then we're going to use two of these where we crink them and put the little figure eights on them, and that'll stop it up from coming either way. So we'll close it off here so that the stuff coming from this way, doing all the potted plants and the hanging baskets, can go its way, and then the water can come from the other direction to here and it'll stop. That's it. Water's now reversed. It's pretty much ready to turn on and test it out, and then we can start hooking up the drip hoses. Real quick, here's some of the equipment. We have the black tubing, which has no holes. That's just what you run stuff to put something on the end of it. That is a 1/4 inch, just black tubing. All the brown here, this is an open one of these, a 1/4 inch with 6-inch spacing between the drippers. So then we have one 12-inch spacing, just in case I don't want quite as close an area. Some spread out areas over there, I may use that. And then several 6-inch ones. And so another thing that's going to be a big thing, helpful, is instead of using just the plastic piece that once you put a hole in the main hose and stick the plastic piece in to connect these hoses to, I'm using this. It's the plastic piece on the bottom that you stick in one side and one side onto these hoses. But this is an on-off switch, so every single one of these that I hook to the main hose is going to be hooked with this on-off switch, so that I can edit what's getting watered if something needs a little more, a little less, and I can cut stuff on and off with this and only water sections if I want to. So it's always a good option if you have different stuff set up that needs different watering, is to have an on-off switch. The more you have, the more you can edit. Forgot one thing to mention, landscape pins, especially if you're using new hoses that are really tightly wound. These are really easy to stick in the ground and keep the shape so it doesn't curl back up on you before the sun hits it for a few hours and warms it up, and then it's pretty good. And you won't even need these anymore, so when you pull it up or move it or something, you can take these up and use them again somewhere else. But landscape pins, definitely helpful in shaping everything. Okay, I'm gonna do this one time real quick, because all 2 or 3 or 4 of these setups are gonna be exactly the same on this part. Use the tool with the spike, poke a hole in this, insert one into this, on-off switch one. So this is on, that's off. The other side, this tube goes in, and every 6 inches it has a dripper. And I'm just gonna run it right on these Homestead Verbena, purple Homestead, all the way around. Then I'm gonna do another one, it's very similar. Might be the ones with a foot apart, could be 6 inches, I don't care. But right behind the roses. Not doing the butterfly bushes right now, because they don't really like a lot of water. So I might run one there and have it off most of the time, and then, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do an off one, have it off most of the time, and switch it on like every 3 waterings or 4 waterings, or depending on, you know, circumstances. Popped it open, boom, water's coming out because it had some pressure in it a while ago. Put this on. Okay, one thing I just noticed, and I actually remember this now from another thing. What I should probably do is put a regular little plastic piece here, and then put this between this, like snip this, and then have it sticking onto here, because this, when you turn it, it pushes against this hose too tight and it kind of wants to push out the piece, which is not going to come out, and it probably won't even leak, but I just really don't like that much pressure when you turn it on versus off, and it's really wanting to dangle out of there. So, all right, got a small plastic piece with just the plastic piece itself. Pop that in, pop this in, just push it in place. Voila. Scissors this time. Good cut. Good cut, bad cut. Now we put our off and on switch right on there, and that doesn't get in the way of anything. Voila. Okie dokie. Now we just spread it out. Landscape pins. I'm gonna pin them down right as close to the verbena and all as I can get, and that way it'll hold it in place. Drift roses, gloves. I'm going to get gloves. All right, this in with the little dripper on it. I'm gonna cut that right here, put an on-off switch, and hook up the drip hose and start going right here with the sunflowers. All right, gonna stop right here with this line, and then I'm gonna have a separate one hooked up to these and all these roses right here and petunias. And I'm gonna start plugging the ends with goof plugs, which are just a little plug in to go on the end of the tubes or in a hole that you accidentally did. So goof plugs are really nice to have. All right, popped a hole here, put a plastic piece in, but instead of putting the drip tubing, I'm actually gonna run the drip tubing about 5 feet over to where the lantana is, and I don't want it dripping the entire way. I don't mind wasting a little bit of water there as far as in between plants, but when it's all the way over that way, I'm gonna get this black tube here, the 1/4-inch black tube that has no holes in it, run it almost to the lantana, and then I'm going to hook in another one of these little plastic pieces and then hook in the drip hosing to the other side of this, so I can start the drip hosing right where I want it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now it's ready to spread over here in the lantana and just straight down those last row of roses, and then every major thing so far, I think majority of it's covered. I've got a few back here. I've actually already got some of this over here, the Rose of Sharon's. I just have to make it a little longer, so I'll just do the same thing, plug in a plastic piece and then keep going with it. And that's what it's doing every 6 inches. Getting those plants watered. I just did this one because it's kind of up in the air. You can see it dripping good. The rest of them just kind of soak the ground slowly. And I don't mind about a little extra water around the plants either, because this area gets direct afternoon sun. It's going to be 100 degrees the next couple days. So the more water, the better on that. But everything's working. I walked around the whole thing and seen the dripping, and it looks like it's doing good. That's what it takes to do some drip hosing. Just not very long. It actually takes longer to video it than it does to actually set it up. The hardest part is when you join pieces and you have these little plastic pieces you have to push in the end of the hose. So if you have arthritis or anything like that, or you're a little bit older and your hands are not as strong as they once were, that part is the most difficult part, is pushing those into those hoses, because they can get hard to get started. They go okay once they start sliding in, but there is a lot of pressure, make your hands sore. So let's say if you got arthritis or something, you might want to just pay somebody, once you get it kind of set up, to just go around and connect everything for you. But other than that, like I said, they're very convenient. You can just keep tweaking them, adding them, adjusting, and turning off and on, so that you can water your plants just like you need to. So anyways, if you all enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, tell your friends, and we will see you soon with another video. Have a great day, and stay cool if you're in this 100-degree weather.